Hey guys, welcome to another Belly Strong video. It is week 36 of pregnancy. Can you believe we've reached this point already? It's only a couple more weeks till we see our little ones. So for today's workout, as usual, you do not need any equipment, and let me know what you think in the comments after you're done. So for our warm-up today, we're going to start with a plie with some arm movements. So down and then stretching up. As always, just warming up all of those muscles before we begin with some of the harder work. Down and up. As you plie, open the knees out. Try not to let them roll forward and keep that chest up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We then go into a round the world. So one arm comes over, we curl forward, we sweep the opposite arm over and come to standing. And other way, side, forward, side, and up. So just really getting that upper spine moving, stretching the muscles between the shoulder blades. Just one more. We're then going to stretch out those hams. So taking one leg out to the side, heel up, hinge forward, and then switch. So you can open it as wide as you need to, but you should feel a bit of a posterior or back of thigh stretch or a calf stretch here. Four, 3, 2, and 1. And then into some glute stretches. You can have one hand on the wall for this, or a table or a chair, or if you can, no hand support, and just sit down into a glute stretch, holding for about 5 seconds, and then switching. Side to side. So this is really good to open up the hips and open up the back, which may be starting to complain about now if they haven't already. And if you're pain-free at 36 weeks, that's good for you. Hopefully all of this working out and strength work has been helping. One more. And once more through, starting with plies into an overhead reach. Down and up. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Round the world. So one arm over, curl forward to the other side. Really stretch out the side of the body with this. Side, forward, side, and up. One more each way. Really reach out of that arm. Last one. Taking one leg out to the side, hinge forward, keep that back straight as you stretch out those hams. Down, and then switching. 2 more. And last one. Into our glute stretches. Using a table or a chair if you need to. Sit down, keep the chest open. Really open out those hips. Side to side. So at 36 weeks, you're probably feeling rather large or larger than you were, and it might be a bit more difficult getting around, but take things at your own pace. And last one. Okay, we'll do a little bit of leg work. We're going to do some side lunges. So make sure you've got enough space to step out into a lunge and then push back to standing. Out and in. As you step out, you're sitting back into the hip. Weight is on the heel of the foot rather than the toes. And keep that chest up. If this is nice and easy for you, you can come up into a balance. Or just stick with that step out. If the stepping out is a bit aggravating, you can just hold it here and go down into a lunge without the step. So pick your level. We've got 3 more. 2 and 1. Other side. Stand up nice and tall, abs braced. Out and in. Keep the weight on the heel as you step out and bend the knee. And if you can, add that balance or that knee up. But once again, do things at your own pace and according to what you can control comfortably. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do a little bit of squat work. So bring those legs a little bit wider and hip distance apart. You're going to lift one heel up. Then sit down into a squat and hold it here as you pulse. So the weight will mostly be on one leg. So you should feel the quads and the glutes working on that one side as you pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a quick switch to the other side and pulse. Try not to let your lower back arch so you're not sticking that buttocks out too much, but you've got that abdominal tension here, giving you some core stability. And it's almost as if you're trying to tuck the pelvis under ever so slightly just to make sure you're not arching that back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up to standing. We've got a little bit of balance work. Feel free to use a chair or a table here if you need a little bit more support. But we're going to stand on one leg, push up and out of that leg, and then we lift, extend, bend, bring it back down. Lift, extend, bend, down. If it's a challenge to lift that leg, you can do this down here. It can be a really small movement, or you can just hold that balanced position using a wall or a chair for support if you need. And if single leg exercises are really just a bit much for you, there are loads of double leg exercises that you can do in replacement of this. Last one on this side. And switch. So push out of that standing leg, flatten those ribs, lift and down. So immediately on my right side, I can feel a little bit of pelvic pain because I have had a history of injury that side before, and pregnancy seems to have made it worse. But I know that although I'll be a little bit stiff, a little bit sore after this workout, I'll feel a lot better tomorrow. So how your pain behaves over 24 hours, whether it gets better or worse 24 hours after a workout, can be a good indication of whether you've done too much work, whether you should go down to some easier exercises, or whether you've got the right amount. So sometimes it's okay to push through a little bit of pain or discomfort if it's low level. One more. And relax. So just sway those hips side to side just for a little bit. We're going to do that one more time through, starting with our side lunges, down and up. And I'm going to challenge myself for this set and try it with that leg lift. But once again, choose a level that works for you. If you need to keep both feet on the ground at all times and just bend one leg into a lunge, do that. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Down and up. Anytime you're on one leg, you're thinking about squeezing the glute muscles or the buttock muscles of that standing leg to make you a little bit more stable, to help engage the core and stop you from wobbling too much. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. Into our squats with a heel lifted. Breathe in between exercises. Lift one heel, squat down and pulse. And if at any point you feel like the workout is going too fast, feel free to hit the pause button, get your breath back, and then come back to it once your heart rate has come down a bit. That's the great thing about online workouts, is that you can hit pause at any time to make sure you're doing things at your own pace. 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. Other side, pulse. Keep the shoulders relaxed, chest open. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into standing. One more standing exercise. We've got that single leg balance with that leg coming up and out. So hands can be wherever you'd like them. I like to have my hands on my belly just to remind myself to engage that core. But if you want to work a little bit harder, you can have your hands up here. Try not to sink into that bottom hip. Keep pushing out. 2 more. And 1. And move over to the other side. Always reset yourself into a nice starting position before adding that movement. Keep breathing. Remember, you can keep this relatively small. Three more. 2. And 1. And relax. Just open those legs nice and wide and take the hips from side to side. Try not to let the torso go with you. Just sliding those hips from side to side for a little bit of a release before we move down to the mat. We're going to do some side plank work. So you'll come down and you're supporting yourself on one hand here. If this is a bit hard on your wrist, feel free to come down onto an elbow to do these exercises here. But for today, I'm going to start up here, knees together. You're going to push your hips up to the ceiling into a side plank, pushing the hips forwards here and flattening those ribs. Our first movement is just a down tap to the mat and coming up. Down and up. As you come up, squeeze these side ab muscles. Down and up. And give the glutes a little bit of a squeeze at the top too. Down and up. One more, then we're going to hold at the top here and pulse. So really small movements. My core is still engaged and firm, but I'm working these side hip and oblique abdominal muscles here as I pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down, just for a quick break to relieve the pressure on that shoulder or that wrist, because we've got one more movement in that position. So we'll start the same way by bringing those hips up and forward. Now the top arm is coming down to the floor and sweeping back up. Down and up. Just 8, so that's 4 left. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. So just bend over to the opposite side for a bit to open up that side of the body. And then take those legs round to the other side to repeat. So you're either up on a hand or down on your elbow, and push the hips up to the ceiling. Push the hips forwards here, and we start with that hip movement down and up. It's all slow and controlled. Down and up. 3, 2, and 1 into that pulse. Remember to give the glutes a little bit of a squeeze here, so you're not sitting back, but you're coming forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quick break, just to make sure you're not compromising form. Reset yourself. We're going to do 8 arm taps or 8 hand taps here. Up, one arm up, and we come down and then open. Keeping the hips lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come down. Okay, we're going to move down onto the mat for our last few exercises. If you struggle to lie flat, come down onto your elbows, or you can do some of the bridge work that we'll do later with the back, your back over the edge of a chair or a bench. Okay, so on your back, rock the pelvis forward and back, and then settle into a middle neutral position, bracing the abdominals here. You're going to bring one leg up into a tabletop and the opposite hand comes up. As you inhale, leg and arm go down. Exhale, come back into that tabletop position. Your key points to focus on here are trying to keep your belly rounded, to keep that abdominal tension, rather than letting the belly cone or end up pointing. If you haven't watched the video on how to activate the deep abdominals and avoid coning, check it out because it can be really helpful to make sure you're keeping your form. 2 more. And 1. Other side. Try to keep that lower back close to the mat as that leg comes down. Down and up. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet back down. We're going to finish with some bridging. So bring the feet together and the knees together, or as close as you can. You're going to squeeze the thighs in, so there's tension here. And I want you to keep that squeeze as you lift the hips up into a bridge. Doesn't have to be very high, and then come back down to hover off the mat. So keep squeezing those thighs together. You should feel tension in those inner thigh muscles as you squeeze up and come back down. So this is a good one for any pelvic pain that you may be experiencing. Just 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and down. And we'll do a bit of stretching here. So bring one leg over and across the knee. You're then going to pull that knee up towards you to open up those glutes. You can also do this in sitting. So you can sit up with your hands behind you to support you and bring that leg up and across. Slowly back down, and then we switch to the other side. Open up that hip. Okay, push yourself up into a sitting position. You're going to cross the legs in front of you. And if you can, bring one leg up over the other. Sitting up nice and tall, you're just going to hinge forward here. Again, opening up the hips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Stay here. You're then going to twist one way, one hand on opposite knee. Keep breathing. And then twist the other way. Okay, other side, so you can cross the other leg in front of the other one, or bring one foot up and keep the back straight to hinge forward. Add that twist. And other side. Okay, we're going to push up into a roll down position and pedal our knees before we fully stand up. So push back onto your haunches and just hang over those legs. You can open them a little bit wider if you need to. And just alternately bend and straighten the knees here. You can have hands on the knees to do it up here too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hands on the knees, round the spine to roll up. And that is our 25-minute workout complete for today. Have a look at some of our other videos if you want to work out again later this week. And I will see you on another Belly Strong video soon.